when we're starting to take marching orders from a global organization that has leaders running it that aren't elected by U.S. citizens and have known influence over them by the Chinese Communist Party and others, that's a problem. I'm not an expert on the World Health Organization. All I can tell you is that when we're starting to take marching orders from a global organization that has leaders running it that aren't elected by U.S. citizens and have known influence over them by the Chinese Communist Party and others, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. And you saw even during COVID where organizations like the WHO had a say in, how we were conducting ourselves here. That's a massive problem, right? And it's like, at least if the guidance is coming from people that you can hire and fire, that's a good start for the American people, right? They can fire me every 2 years if they don't like the job that I'm doing, right? They can fire our president every 4 years. But when you have some bureaucrat, some global bureaucrat that you have no control over how long this person stays in that job, or he doesn't answer to any American citizens. Even though our tax dollars fund a lot of that organization, some of the guidance, coming out of some of these global groups during COVID, sorry, man, it wasn't good, and it didn't maintain our sovereignty, and that's a problem.
What does this open us up to? How are they giving our sovereignty up to how is the Biden administration giving up our sovereignty to the World Health Organization?
How are they giving our sovereignty?
What are the specifics? How do they come in?
I don't know. I don't know the backstory on it. Okay. I just know that there's a push. And I know that there's, and I apologize. I know that there's plenty of reporters that have really dug into this, but I know that their influence is growing way too strong. And I know that there are folks in our own country that are perfectly fine with the WHO having a pretty big say in how we do things during like times of crisis, pandemic, etc. And that's not okay with the American people.
Yeah, it's not okay with me either. I mean, I did this, and then, like I said, I did this piece on it about a year ago. I think it was about a year ago, and I pulled it because I had all these reliable sources telling me, "Hey, you're wrong about this. That's not happening." And the last thing I want to do is mislead my audience.
Yeah.
And so if I make a mistake, I'll pull it.
I think that speaks to your credibility, man, and I think that that's good. And I think that should be a goal for each and every one of us. If we're, if we find out that we're putting out bad gouge or even misinformed, I think it really speaks to who you are if you're willing to walk it back and take ownership of it. But even then, that's why I'll straight up tell you, hey man, I don't know the answer to that. I appreciate it. I'm not an expert. I really don't think I'm an expert in anything, but I know I love my country. I know I'm concerned about the direction of it. And, I know there's a lot of shady stuff going on. And, I think our instincts are often, and I hate to say I hate to say that when we're talking about like the World Health Organization, but I know there is a push to give them authorities over how we do things during global pandemics. And you hear a lot of these guys talking about there's more coming down the pipe, and that was just a test run, and like I don't know exactly what these guys' plans are. All I know is that I don't think most American citizens would be okay with that in the slightest. They want the guidance that they're having to live under, whether they're wearing a mask, whether their business is closed down. They want to actually be able to go talk to the people that are making those decisions.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.